I always remember when I was a kid, I had a pediatrician, Dr. Bodie, and I used to ask him so many questions. And I remember sitting in that room with him and my mom and him saying, "Son, you're gonna be a lawyer one day." And he was right. When I was in high school, I took a class called We the People, which was a debate class where we went to Washington, D.C., and we debated with other schools, and our school ended up ranking 8th in the country, and that kind of set me on a path in college, political science majors, and then off to law school.
I grew up in a small town in eastern North Carolina. I knew I wanted to try something a little different, and I wanted to go live in the big city for a little bit, and I realized the big city wasn't for me, and I wanted to come back, to where I was at home, and that's eastern North Carolina. I had a family member that was injured, so I saw the impact that an injury can have on someone's family. You don't always appreciate just how good something was until it's changed. Having gone through that and seen it firsthand, it gives me a real appreciation for what our clients are going through. When you're in that position, a lot of times it's the first and only time you have to go through something like that, and it can be very challenging. My first stop out of law school, I went to work for a large injury firm in Raleigh. That job was very attractive to me because it's what I knew that I wanted to do. And I got there and I spent about 1.5 or 2 years there and realized if I really wanted to be able to do a good job for my clients to help them meet their goals, I needed to go to the other side and learn what they do to try and defeat the value of a claim and to try and minimize their risk in it. I like to say I was behind enemy lines for a few years so that I can help my clients stay out ahead of that. So Nick and I worked on the same team at the big firm, and we became fast friends. And eventually, after a few years, we were in a fishing tournament, and Nick said to me, "Where do you see yourself?"
And I remember being involved in the discussions with the insurance company and made me realize that this is not what I want to do. I don't want to be on this side anymore.
And I told him I was thinking that, I wanted to go and start my own practice and help real people. And he said, "Well, let's talk about that."
And then we took all that knowledge and now we bring it to help our clients, regular folks here in our community.
And so that's how our firm got started.
We had 0 clients. We started the firm from scratch with nothing. We left, good paying jobs, kind of cushy jobs, into a very uncertain future. And it was the best decision I think both of us made.
It's not just what happens in discovery, it's about what happens at trial.
And then once the case is done, some of these people's lives are completely changed. And being the one who's able to help fight for them and bring them that change, it's the most rewarding thing you could ever want out of a career.
While they are attorneys and they possess really, really good skill sets, at the end of the day, they're just ordinary guys like you and I. You know whether or not you're being treated fairly, and those guys do. I think, honestly, they treat each client as if they were representing their mom or dad.
One of the biggest things for us now, and one of the reasons we really love what we do, is we get to engage with people in our community.
That's the kind of thing that motivates me. Knowing that there's somebody that needs some help and needs help navigating this process and this unfamiliar territory, that I can bring that to the table and help guide them along that way. That's what motivates me in the morning.
Anyone who calls us, they're going through a difficult time. They're all in some kind of period of uncertainty. They don't know what to do. They've been injured, they're not working, they have medical bills coming in. We want to be the one bright spot from that dark time.
So what can we do all along the way to help set the case up so that when we get to trial, we have the best shot to achieve the client's goals as possible?
Once they've recovered or they've gotten back to some kind of baseline and they've moved on with their lives, hopefully, but Horton and Mendez, they were great. We're the good guys.